It seems like yesterday when Kevin Samuels passed away, but in all actuality, it's been almost 3 years since the great legend Kevin Samuels passed away. And still, it doesn't feel like it's actually true. And of course, from time to time, we see mentions of his name, usually in good spirits and in good taste. But of course, there are people who are still jealous of Kevin Samuels and want to go around and spread lies. One of those people is Donovan Sharp. Another one of those people is Fresh and Fit. And really, it's only Myron of Fresh and Fit that still has some issue with Kevin Samuels.
Didn't Kevin help put Fresh and Fit on? If it was Kevin that helped put Fresh and Fit on, that is crazy. That now that he's dead and now Myron wants to say what he's saying now, it's like, that's not really respectable. Like, why don't you say it to the dude's face? You know what I'm saying? You had no smoke to the dude's face. Like, kind of strange, but I don't feel like that's manly, bro.
And I really dislike to even say this, but the truth is the truth, and I kind of had to say it. The reason why the Black Manosphere died, right, is simply because Kevin Samuels didn't put his people on. Just going to be honest about it. He became famous. He blew up. He didn't, extend the ladder back and put his guys on, and it died. That's just what happened. Once he got into, into the mainstream, he didn't bring anybody up with him. And that's the cold hard truth. I hate to say that, but it's the truth.
I'll talk on this first. I don't think the Black Manosphere necessarily died. I don't think it really went anywhere. Like, these types of movements usually like spiral down and root into other movements, in my opinion. Like, for an example, you're seeing a lot of the guys who were in Red Pill are now going away from it and making their own spaces. And these spaces are, still to, what the definition of Red Pill would be is still technically Red Pill, but they're just doing their own versions now. I don't think it ever really dies. I don't think things like that ever die. Like, usually it roots into more things. Just like how, when jazz died, it rooted into soul music, R&B, hip hop.
Evolves type shit.
Yeah, it evolved. So, I think that's what happened with the Manosphere in general, Red Pill and all that. And then secondly, he was saying Kevin Samuels didn't put anybody on. I know for a fact that a lot of people were put on maybe unpurposely by Kevin Samuels, you know what I'm saying? So there were a lot of people who are still speaking his word to this day that were put on by the movement that he created. And I'm pretty sure he helped put Fresh and Fit on. So that's why I'm not really sure why, you got all this smoke for this dude and he's not even here anymore. To this day, don't got smoke for Nick Fuentes or none of these white supremacists that you roll with. It doesn't make sense. Are these white supremacists putting you on? No, they called you a sand N-word, bro. They called you a sand N-word. You got no smoke for them.
So the bro standing up for himself, the only way he could be stood up for himself and thought it was a real type of thing was, he stood him to shut the fuck up, bro.
Just insane, bro.
Just raging on them, and then he kept getting called a sand N, bro.
Yeah. It's just insane, bro. You got no smoke for them, but got all this smoke for a dude that isn't even alive. Like, you got so much smoke for black people, but no smoke for people who actually hate you for real. It's just absolutely insane, dude. Absolutely fucking insane.
Well, I know that he had something going on, but what I will say is when he did those Nicki Minaj collabs, when he did those big events, there was no shout out to anybody from the sphere. And it kills me because like a guy like Donovan Sharp platformed him like 80 times and he never shouted him out. And I always was like, what the hell? Right? And I was like, we're not going to do that. So I think, we absolutely need to stand united and do periodic shows like this.
Now he wants to talk about that after his little shit was going on with the white supremacists. Straight calling us, dudes on Twitter calling us the hard ER, bro. And he wants to talk about coming together for the culture.
I mean, bro, you don't even consider yourself part of the culture. Like, one day you want to be black, then the next day you're Arab. It doesn't make any sense. Like, you have to pick a side, bro. You can't be black and be a white supremacist. I mean, there's a lot of that. Don't get me wrong, but I personally don't consider those people authentically black. You can't be authentically FBA or authentically black if you're straight going against your people. You don't know what he is. The man is in an identity crisis, bro. Are you part of the Black Manosphere or not? I don't understand. Where does Fresh stand in this, bro? Like, where does he stand in all this?
He's just sitting there he's just sitting there not even talking shit,
he's
bro.
Just sitting there like a dog, bro. Like, it's just like, oh my goodness.
Bro's literally his lapdog, bro.
Yeah,
That's
literally.
fucking point, dude.
Literally, bro.
Especially after that little Asian escort. And then Myron was basically speaking for him for the vast majority of the time.
Absolutely.
Just speaking for him, bro.
Bring up Fresh and Fit? Yes, he did. You see, when Fresh and Fit were a struggling podcast and couldn't get any views, want to know who flew out to Miami with their own?
Now he wants to talk about that after his little shit was going on with the white supremacists. Straight calling us, dudes on Twitter calling us a hard ER, bro. And he wants to talk about coming together for the culture.
I mean, bro, you don't even consider yourself part of the culture. Like one day you want to be black, then the next day you're Arab. It doesn't make any sense. Like you have to you have to pick a side, bro. You can't be black and be a white supremacist. I mean, there's a lot of that. Don't get me wrong, but I personally don't consider those people authentically black. You can't be authentically FBA or authentically black if you're straight going against your people. You don't know what he is. The man is in an identity crisis, bro. Are you part of the black manosphere or not? I don't understand. Where does Fresh stand in this, bro? Like, where does he stand in all this?
He just sitting there he's just sitting there not even talking shit,
he's
bro.
Just sitting there like a dog, bro. Like, it's just like, oh my goodness.
Bro's literally his lapdog, bro.
Yeah,
At
literally.
this fucking point, dude.
Literally, bro.
Especially after that little Asian escort. And then Myron was basically speaking for him for the vast majority of the time.
Absolutely.
Just speaking for him, bro.
So it helps us in other avenues too.
That and what we experience, IRL doesn't really help like that either. Makes it a hell of a lot worse.
What?
Like with the sisters and shit, like the folks, and just we see what's going on in the media. We try our hardest to make it seem as if the issue isn't real, and then we finally go out like we're constantly running into nonsense, like on a consistent basis, bro. Like
I was actually doing a little research on that, watching a few videos on it. It's just like it's hypergamy, bro. Like a lot of these women are, they have been brainwashed by the capitalist American media that, they have to have the best of everything. You know what I'm saying? And these women only want the top of the top, really. So, that's why a lot of women around the world are, looking more towards whiteness as being like more superior to black and all that type of stuff. That's why black men have to work much harder to get the same results that a white man has barely have to work for at all. Hey, man, if that's what's going to bring the strongest of us out of this community, then hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because in the long term, all it's going to do is just bring the strongest out of all of us. The weakest of us die off. Hey, that's just what it's going to have to be.
Because we never needed to. That man never needed to do that because he did enough for me already. But if he collaborated with you, you were going to do well. Just ask Fresh and Fit. And the second point I want to bring up, the Black Manosphere fell off because Kevin Samuels didn't put their people on. I'm going to also call cap on that because the people who put folks into the Black Manosphere was not necessarily Kevin Samuels. It was me. And if anything, Kevin Samuels brought more notoriety and fame to the Black Manosphere than anybody ever did. He did the most for it. How did the Black Manosphere respond? Well, they hated on him. And it's interesting because there was a guy that's actually on the stream with Myron, who I won't name, that had a lot to say about Kevin Samuels when Kevin was living. And as soon as Kevin Samuels died, that guy was singing Kevin Samuels' praises. I'll let you figure it out. A whole bunch of guys turned on Kevin Samuels. A bunch of them, all right? A lot of them. If you really want to be honest about it, a lot of them turned on Kevin. And then once Kevin died, then all of a sudden, they're going to act like we didn't know. See, a lot of people were jealous of Kevin Samuels' success in the Black Manosphere. We're going to be honest, okay? A lot of people. Let me give you an example. There was a time where Kevin Samuels, mediocre tutorials and reviews, and the lead attorney, and Dennis Sperling all met up in New York City. There was a guy in the Black Manosphere, very popular guy, I don't want to bring up his name, was upset because Kevin Samuels didn't invite him. And again, this is another guy that Kevin Samuels shouted out, and he got a whole bunch of book sales. He made a lot of money on Amazon. He didn't give Kevin Samuels any money, but he was upset because he wasn't there.
He didn't fly your ass out. You didn't invite your ass, bro. Like, what the fuck?
Him being mad literally shows the reason why he didn't invite you.
Probably a lame. That's why he didn't invite your ass, bro.
Yeah. My personal opinion on all this, you can't be hating on a man who's not here. I'm just going to give it a buck. I got all this to say once dude is gone. It's just like you didn't have none of the smoke when dude was in that studio right in front of y'all. It's just like the reason why the Black Manosphere may not be as big as it was back then is because a lot of y'all decided to get competitive with each other. A lot of y'all started doing this little internet beef. And it's just like
instead of working together.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like y'all are literally, y'all are the visual representation of why the black community looks the way it is right now. Because a lot of us are competing with each other and hating on each other. Y'all doing the same shit.
Competing with each other, bro. That folks just subconsciously know that they're just no match, or so they think they're no match when it comes to other groups.
But once again, you got no smoke for these white supremacists. Incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Been at the peak of my game, top of my legacy, move like I built Notre Dame. So how can I move some shame inside of my heart when I got gold attached to my name? Dropping the smoothest of flows like a ninja, I lock it with maximum aim and I injure. I shut down your multiple cells, I discipline. No, you're not a part of the team, you can't enter. Turning Evita to dinner, they know I remain undefeated, the boy can't be hindered. Really got scars in this game and got gold to my name like a Musa, I'm not no beginner. Can't go half fast, not a word that's a filler, that before dishonor without